Hi, Lee and Miranda, and if you're watching John, this is Leon's video lesson for today. 4 things I want to talk about. I'll go down the list, and if you have questions at the end, feel free to shoot a message on over, and I will do my best to answer. So cool, let's get to it. So with Serenade, really great sense of melody. I like the fact that he's playing, his eyes are on the music, but he's not even looking at his fingers, and his fingers are going into the right spot. That's really good right there. One thing I will work on, it's going to be a theme throughout this entire video lesson, is switching between subdivisions. What that means is we have a coordinate pulse, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and how we can divide those into smaller parts is what's getting in his way. What he tends to do is drag. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 should be how it goes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then back to the coordinate again. So he's dragging those eighth notes. And it's a common thing. And as soon as I watched the video, I went through each video, and I was like, oh my gosh, every video, each thing that we want to work on is the subdivision, right? So he fixed his subdivision issue. I think his musicianship skill is going to improve greatly. So what I would do for Serenade is I want you to clap a steady coordinate, right? Have him clap with you, and then can you divide that? Then back to a quarter note. It's gonna be tricky, right? Rhythm is something we're always gonna be working on. I'm still working on mine. So my Rome wasn't built in a day. So and then once you can clap it, try playing on a string. 1, 2, 3, 4. T T T T T T T T. Ta 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 ta. T T T T T T T. Just an open string. Nothing crazy. Do that for Serenade, and do that for the other. That's going to improve the other things as well, I think. In terms of other things in Serenade, before I get too far into rhythm, is the left hand. In the fourth line, he has a little cascade in there. Right? What I would do is do it with a non-metrical practice, which means there's no time involved. It's just like, where do our fingers even go? Right? If he goes, I think what he's doing right now, he's trying to play everything at tempo and never ever practicing like the tricky fingerings. So when I practice a piece, I sometimes take things out of context, like say like stuff like that. I'll take that little fast flourish. I'll slow it down so I get the fingering right. And then I'll go through and make it a little exercise, things like that. So that's what I would do with that left hand thing right there in Serenade. In a toy, it happens, and this goes back to subdivisions too. In a toy, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, da da. Right, we have that dotted rhythm followed by a 16th note, and it's the same thing there. On that fast note, we're dragging the time a little bit. So we're doing t t t t t re t re t re t re t t. The way I get people to do that is I do the tas and the t's, and I'll speed it up and then go, by the way, you're doing t's and t re t re's. But we'll say that for another day. I just want to let you know there is a way to teach that. So coming from this, so this is the end of measure 3 into measure 4. E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Right, ba da dum bum. And this is a spot where if I were practicing this, I would isolate this and go. I can play this, right? Practicing is maybe making some sort of like it works really well with Leon, I think, having some sort of like saying that goes along with what he's doing. I think that really helps him kind of check into what he's doing. I catch him sometimes in the video, he'll be playing, and maybe this is because the camera's rolling, but he'll stop, he'll be playing, but he'll be looking at the camera, and it's probably just distracting to him. So I think if he makes like a saying to say in his head while he's playing, that might help him kind of stay focused what he's doing. Let's see here. And then in Allegro, same thing. Where was that? Where are you? My book's falling apart. Teaching too much. So in Allegro, this is measure 1. Measure 1 and measure 2, we have that. Oh, sorry, playing the wrong song. Right, what happened when he played it, we went like 3/4 speed. So with that one, bum, 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 da, 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 da. I think practicing, what I would do maybe, Miranda, is like have you clap the chord note and you say the T, so ta, 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 and you call it TT, and you have to do TTs against your ta. I think that will really help spots like this. Oh, by the way, chord formation looks really good on Allegro. That formation looks really nice. So good job leaning on that right there. And then let's see here. And then at that teaching point there, the going from the F sharp. This is in measure 9, 10, 11, end of 11 into 12. So last beat of measure 11, you have the F sharp. You have practice landing that C sharp. Right? So that way, because I think his finger's kind of landing in between strings, so I would practice just landing that right there. I mean, like I said before, like in my practice, you'd be bored to tears seeing me watching me go. Right? So when I'm practicing, I'm making little exercises out of things, and it's not for like making it sound like music, it's like, can I physically play that? And then lastly, long ago, tune your guitar, and it's the same thing. That's what was going on with that thing we couldn't figure out. I couldn't figure out what was going on before, but I got it now, I think. Is that when that happens in the music, yeah, it happens right here. So this chord note is fine, but then when he plays this second eighth note right here, that's where he drags a little bit, and that's what. Oh, no, sorry. In this case, he speeds up. So bum. Dun da 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 bum ba da dum dee da dum da da dum. It's the subdivision. In all these examples, it's the subdivision. I think if we practice clapping those out, clapping the subdivision out, I think it's gonna like a global effect on his musicianship skills, and we'll kind of cross that bridge into like very even playing. Except for his age, though, you know, it's his rhythm's good, but I think we can polish it even better. So cool. So work on those things for me. If you want to send over a video of his subdivision clapping or playing, feel free to do that. If not, I will see you same time next time. Take care.